What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, back at MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today I'm going to talk about What Remains. This is a Scandinavian thriller based on a true story. It stars Stellan Skarsgard, Andrea Riseborough, and another Skarsgard. Stellan is reproducing at a rapid rate. Either that or else everybody's named Skarsgard. It's like the Smith of of his area. So you walk around and you're like, oh, Skarsgard. Oh, I'm a Skarsgard too. We're all Skarsgards. Not to be confused with Sarsgaard. It's very different. Different family. They're sort of like the Hatfields and McCoys. You don't want to go down there. It's very dark, troubling history between the Skarsgard and the Sarsgards of the world. Anyway, this is a serial killer drama. It's a dark, very I want to say slow, but I don't mean that offensively. So don't be. It's a slow burn. That's how we say it complimentary. It's slow burn. It's a slow burn. Yeah, it lingers, and it centers around, I guess, what was the true story of there's a guy that's about to be released from prison because of like lower offense sex crime or something like that, where his time is up, and some suggested evidence comes out that suggests that he may be a serial killer. And they're trying to figure out before they like let him free upon the world if this is true. So they kind of go into that, and there's a lot of talking in this and exploring, and it's very slow. It did not have audio description, so there are plenty of times where they're not talking and it's silent, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. But this is one of those like sort of like undiscovered gems that I've seen a couple people recommend. They thought I've heard it's really depressing, like when all is said and done, when you are able to put everything together. And for me, like, I could feel that, like I got that vibe. It's slow burn. We're talking about serial killers, so I just, you know, feels like the kind of thing David Fincher would remake if he could. Like I bet David Fincher watched What Remains and was like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this. I'm doing this right now. Give me my pen and paper. Um, yeah, it feels very Fincher-esque, but it's not. It's actually a directorial debut from, a Scandinavian director, Nordic, if you will, who previously had a short film in at Cannes and has parlayed that into a feature debut. Somebody who started out sort of in the regular art and then made a short film and now is making a feature. So he could end up making some really interesting stuff. It is, I mean, there's English here. It's Stellan and Andrea. I understood what people were saying. It's just there are sections of the film where there isn't any dialogue and there was no audio description. So, but it was not much skin off my back because the only reason I caught this is because I had seen it recommended before. And then it floated around. Apple had it at 99-cent rental, and I was like, okay, for 99 cents, yeah, whatever. Let's see what remains. And I wouldn't recommend it without audio description, just because it makes a slow burn slower when you don't have the audio description to accompany it. But I don't think this is a bad movie. It just kind of makes it hard for me to figure out where it lands. And you're sitting there. Plus, I feel like this is a film that is so much about the acting and the choices and people's reactions, and certain scenes are very key. When I hear this guy's a visual artist, I'm like, well, what's he doing here? What's unique about these shots? And I'm wondering if he's doing anything different. So I have a lot of questions, but not answered because lack of audio description. So if you want to check out What Remains and you're excited and you like serial killer thrillers, cool. Also, I would use maybe a diet thriller because it is, again, a slow burn. So you're not going to get the kind of immediate thrills that you would get from like Seven, if that makes any sense. Because it's not Seven. Um, so it kind of plays out over time. Um, Much like only in feature length, when you think about what Fincher actually did with his TV show, how he played that out over multiple episodes. And it's sort of like that. When you stretch it out like that, it feels more like a slow burn. Um, but yeah, this is interesting. I really like Stellan Skarsgard as an actor, and he's never been nominated. It'd be nice to get him a nomination. I think he's been a pretty solid actor throughout his entire career. It's odd that he's dodged the Academy. So it's just not going to happen. This film doesn't have enough traction. This is like one of those little undiscovered gems of the year that just is the deep film nerds who found it are talking about it, but like no one else is. Anyway, I'm going to give What Remains the grade of unwatchable due to lack of audio description. I have a feeling this isn't going to be one of my favorite films. This is probably somewhere in the B range. I don't think it's going to drop out of that if I had audio description with it. So somewhere around in there. I was interested. I was intrigued, but I was also frequently disconnected due to lack of accessibility. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.